There you go. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and switch to the share my screen that has the workbook itself, and we're just going to quickly go through that. I know we have a short amount of time, so we've probably got about a half hour. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask them. If you want to email me directly, you can email me directly. Claire is going to be the one. She had introduced herself. She's going to be helping with all the technical difficulties. Thank heavens for Claire. So let's go ahead and get started and just kind of review this. Let me share my screen. All right, can you guys see the Master Health Volunteer cover page? Can everybody see that? Perfect. All right, so we're just going to kind of go through this. Of course, this is our copyright information. This kind of tells where the program is from. We've got to include all of that, right? So the right people get the right credit. So on our table of contents, this is just our basic, what is in this book. So this is 123 pages. I know a lot of us don't, I always bypass the table of contents, but we did divide them up into module sections, so each one of these will be easier to navigate. The only thing that will be different that you may have to look through the each one of those module pages is when you're looking for your project, for the volunteer projects information. This is a letter from Dr. Sandra Sulzer. You know, we all thanking you guys for participating in the program. So introduction. So what is the Master Health Volunteer Program? So this program will give you a strong foundation in evidence-based health and wellness information. So a lot of what we're wanting to do is promote, you know, these evidence-based programs. There's been research that's been done to help people be advocates and work in their communities. And so this information that's in this program has been, you know, it's been researched, it's been selected. And so this is going to help you guys, help anybody who participates in this to become a master, basically, which we all want to do, right? Be a master in our communities. I always think of, I don't know if any of you guys have ever watched, I'm sure you guys have, Beyond Thunderdome, when he talks about Master Blaster. We're not going to be master blasters, but we're going to be advocates for our community. Claire, is there anything you wanted to add into this little introduction about Master Health Volunteer?
Yeah, sure. So I guess kind of like big picture, what we're hoping to accomplish with this program is to just get more people involved in their local communities to promote health and wellness. And I know that your team is already doing this every day with your work and your community engagement that you're already doing. So we're really excited to have you kind of help us run through this program and kind of see what we can do to make it better, what we can do to help encourage other people to get involved. And I think this year in particular, we kind of just generally, people are more interested in health and wellness issues than maybe they have been in the past. So I think this is a really great time that we can kind of come together as community members across the state and especially locally and just kind of promote health and wellness for everyone. So thank you all for joining us. We're excited to be working with you. And yeah, I think that's just all that I wanted to add, Michelle.
Thank you. So because we're going over this program and it's still, you know, there's going to be feedback that's available at the end of each one of these modules. I really want to encourage you guys to give us feedback. If there is something in the book, in the module, or something that you've completed when you're done with it, and you have something stuck out, you felt that something needed to change, something that would help you a little bit more, please give us that feedback because it is so important. We're still, you know, getting this all, you know, fine-tuned basically. So I know it can be tedious. It can be very tedious, but please, your feedback is extremely important and it'll be very beneficial to this program. All right, so we have our participant checklist. This is just talking about the beginning of the program. So these are some things that you're going to need to, just kind of help you stay online with everything, right? Meet with your local US Extension faculty. Sorry, I keep on flipping the page. Schedule bi-weekly meetings with a mentor. We will be having this weekly meeting. And this weekly meeting is mostly just to answer questions. Let's say if in one of the modules you may be having a difficult time or you want to work together as a group, get feedback from each other, that's what this time is for. So it's really just kind of open. If we need to, if somebody requests it or, they would like that extra help to like read through the module and work it during this time, we can also do that. So I had mentioned before that some of you may have already started doing the modules, which is totally fine. This program, this time is just to answer questions and give you some guidance, especially when we start working on our project. Mercedes has experience, Mercedes and Yvette, they've gone through the MHVP. And so they've had the opportunity to work on their projects. And so this workbook has been designed to help you work through the projects as you're going along to develop a big project. So that's the one thing that's beneficial. So this personal information form, just get this filled out. And then that way, this will give us so Claire, on this one, just let me clarify, do we want this information on their personal information form? Do we want that sent back to us?
Generally speaking, this group is a little unique because you're all working through it at the same time. Some people in other communities are just doing it kind of individually.
Okay.
And so this contact information sheet is to help extension faculty members in those areas keep track of who's in the program. So it's probably not as important for this group since you guys are all working through it together. But as a general rule, that's what we use to make sure people don't get lost in the shuffle.
Perfect. That makes total sense. All right, so the project introduction. I love the pictures. You guys will notice that some of your faces are in the pictures. We really wanted to make sure that when we want this to go throughout our tribal communities throughout the state, and we want our tribal communities to see that this works in our tribal communities, that it can be done. And so it's always good to have those familiar faces, right? So this is a volunteer project introduction. I'm not going to read over all of these. This is just kind of gives you the basic information of what's going on, especially when we're starting to do volunteer work inside our communities, because we want to make sure that people who are engaging in community understand the safety, understand, especially with what we've got going on with COVID, understand that we've got to make sure our communities are safe and also that we're safe. But we can't stop the progress that we need to see in our communities, because now is a time for us to be able to, it's really important for us to build those connections, even if it's via Zoom and all the technical difficulties of Zoom. But it's still important to be able to volunteer in our communities. So health areas of interest, the 8 dimensions of health, these are the things that we're going to be going over: spiritual health, emotional health, intellectual health, physical health. These are like some project, brainstorming. I know a lot of you guys have a lot of experience out in the communities and you've been doing a lot of work. So I think this is an amazing opportunity for you to be able to pick one of those projects that you have in mind and really start, let's get it happening. So we also have environmental health, financial health, occupational health, social health, opioid crisis response, and the COVID-19 relief. And then on the bottom, you see that there's some additional project ideas. Any questions so far? All right, so with this group of individuals, we actually had, I believe it was 20 people sign up. So Today we just had some technical difficulties of everybody getting onto the link. So there's going to be a lot more people in here, hopefully in the upcoming meetings. And like I said, it'll be very short. You know, if we'll take the full hour, I'll be here for the full hour to answer any questions. For, you know, anybody, if anybody wants to stick around, if you need to make an appointment to come and see me, if you want to talk to me personally, just reach out to me and we can get that arranged. So we're just going to quickly go through each one of these modules. So Module 1, emotional health. How many of you guys have already started working on your modules? Okay. Yeah. How have you guys felt about this first section as you're navigating through it?
So,
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, who was that, Shay?
Go ahead, Sandy.
So I did the first module, and I do a little bit at a time, and then every time I would come back to it, I'd have to start from the beginning. Is there some way that you can start where you left off, or is there something that I need to do to be able to do that, or do I just need to keep starting from the beginning and find where I left off?
Claire, do you have any insight onto that?
Yeah, have you been using the module, like the module link on the menu to look at the different pages, or have you just been starting at the home page and clicking through?
I've been starting at the home page and clicking through.
Okay, yeah, that will take a long time. There's a lot of pages to click through. You may want to try, so when you log in, I don't know, Michelle, if I can screen share really fast. It looks like maybe not. I think you have to give me permission to screen share. Oh, perfect, great. Okay, so when you log in, it should look like this, right? This is kind of like the homepage that you see. And if you just start clicking through down here, that is going to take forever to find stuff because there's a lot of pages. So I would recommend going up here and clicking on modules. And then that will show you kind of more the individual pages that you've been through. So if you've already started the emotional health one, let's say you're on like part 2 or something, or you finished part 2 and you're on the mental health one, you can just click mental health and that will take you to that page. So you don't have to click through all the other ones. So it still isn't super fast, but it should be faster than going through from the beginning.
Claire, I have a question real fast.
Yeah.
Is there a check mark as you finish that module or that section?
I don't, like on this page, I don't think there's a check
like a
mark
little green check mark, because that way if you forget, that would pop up.
If there's like a setting I can turn on for that, because that would be really helpful. So let me look into that.
Hey, Clara, this is Jessica. I have a question for you. I tried logging in and start the modules, but then I had my I was having troubles. So one of my coworkers said they signed up with a different, like another email address of theirs. So I tried that and I'm still having troubles logging in. So I'm probably registered under different multiple emails.
Okay, well, that's not a problem. I mean, you can register as many emails as you want. Let me look and check our master list of people, see if you're in there. I know it's been hard for some people to access, so you're not the only person that's had troubles, and I really apologize for that. But so it's not just you.
Okay, because I log in and then it just says website not found.
Oh, weird. Okay, yeah, it looks like I
Yeah.
do have you listed on here. You're Jessica J, right? Is the email?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me go ahead. I'll just resend you the link and maybe that will be the easiest way to get in. But if it still doesn't work, let me know and we'll figure it out.
Alrighty. Thank you.
Mhm.
All right, any other questions? Those are good questions. Good things to know, right?
So a lot of the staff, we've been doing the usucourses.instructure.com, and then it brings up the Canvas. Or does it bring up USU? It brings up USU, the blue page. And then we put in the email that we registered with, and then click forgot password, and then it sends a link, and then we set our password, and then we're able to get in that way. Because the other one just wasn't working for me, and I don't know why, but that's a way that I was able to get access to the class. And then my daughter tried it, and it did what you said it would do. It brought her up to the complete registration, and she put in whatever information, and she didn't have any issues. So I don't know, maybe it's just me.
Sandy, things just have to go the long way for you.
I
I'm
guess.
just saying.
I wanted to say something. I don't know if you can, but I feel like I don't know if this first module was so crazy, like it was just had a lot to do with different key points. And I was very surprised to hear that Sandy said it was 5 hours long. And so just diving into it and reading about it, it's just some of the things that's applying to this area, like Fort Duchesne or the surrounding areas that kind of have a lot to do with mental health. And so I feel like this first module, it kind of appealed to me because it's some of the things that everybody's going through around here, and especially like substance abuse and self-care, especially important, and suicide. And a lot of those things were standing out to me because, again, it's just some of the things that you just hear like a neighbor saying or overhearing somebody else talk about, And so I feel like this first module, even though it was a whole lot of information, it's just, I feel like it kind of appeals to me. But I was telling Sandy this earlier that this is just only the first chapter, so I don't really, there could be a lot of things that appeal to me in this program. So I just wanted to share that with you guys.
Thank you, Shay. When you finish that module, when you do finish that, make sure you give us that feedback too, so we can have that documented. Because I think that's the one thing that's really appealed to me about this whole program, is when we're looking at the emotional health, these are issues that a lot of our communities are experiencing. And so sometimes we think, that it may be just in one region, or it just may be in one spot. But the reality is these are issues that a lot of people are dealing with. And so I love how this brings those topics to the forefront so we can talk about them. Because when we start doing volunteer work in our communities, whether we're doing counseling, whether we're doing, helping the communities like you guys do, community members look to you. And sometimes what can happen is, if we're not taking care of our own mental health, our own emotional health, our own physical health, when we're in communities, and the issues that our communities are dealing with can actually transfer to us and get us in a place that's unhealthy. So being a volunteer in communities, it's important for you as a volunteer to be healthy. Because what happens, and I've seen this in the field that I've worked in, sometimes people will remind us of situations in our lives. We meet people who may remind us of somebody that we've had in our lives, we've had an interaction with, and that triggers some emotions and that triggers some memories. And even though we know that they're not that person, sometimes those, we can transfer emotion and transfer stuff back and forth. And it can, if we're not in a safe place for ourselves, we start working our problems through another person. So it's really important to keep that emotional health. The other thing I really want to encourage is, if you guys ever do, while you're working through this program, if something does come up and you want to chit chat about it, don't hesitate to reach out to me. And, you know, we can talk about some things, you know, just if it's triggering something, a memory, or if it's, you realize there's an emotion that you haven't dealt with, you know, don't hesitate to reach out, because I think that's one of the biggest things I've seen with anybody who works in community in any capacity, is that you need to be in a place that you are okay with yourself. Because if we're not, how are we going to go out into the community and try to promote and support community health if ourselves are not in a healthy place? So thank you for sharing that, Shay. Any other?
I also have a question too. You mentioned earlier that we have to let you know when we finish the modules. Is that what you said?
No, you don't have to let me know. Just that you fill out the surveys. So when you're done with those, we get that feedback. I can't stress more than anything how important your guys' feedback is in this whole process. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, Claire, but I think you guys are the first tribally affiliated group that are going through the Master Health Volunteer Program.
Yeah. Yep. We had a pilot phase last year, like the end of 2019, but other than that, you guys are the first ones to go through, and definitely the first tribal affiliated group. So
yes,
we are really appreciative of your time and your feedback.
Yep. So that feedback is important. Yeah. So you don't have to let me know when you've gone through a module. Just make sure that you do fill out. The only requirement I have is that you fill out the survey at the end, because like I said, your input is very important. And also be very candid. Don't, you know, I'm the type of person, when I fill out a survey, I'm like, oh, this was good. All is good. Don't be a survey filler outer like me. Give us some true, honest feedback. So even in regards to some of the visuals, so like if you notice the first picture for our module 1, the mental health, the emotional health module, if that wasn't too appealing to you and you want to see something different, please put that down. Okay, like I said, that feedback's important. All right, any other questions on that the emotional health module introduction parts? All right, so I know this has 8 parts to it. I want to encourage you guys to just keep on plugging away at those, find out what's interesting, work through them, because I'm not going to keep us longer than our allotted time. So this is always going to be every Tuesday from 10 to 11. We're not going to go beyond that. If you do need to schedule some extra time with me to talk about, working through any of this, Mercedes is there to help. Yvette is there to help. Please reach out to us and let us know what we can do to support you on any of the modules. And once again, the most important part of this is the technical support provided by Claire. Claire is a superstar when it comes to this stuff. So if you're having difficulty getting on, and reach out to Claire and let her know. She'll make sure that she'll find the answers or find solutions for those technical issues. And then we will resend the link out. So we'll get that all taken care of. We are planning on doing 10 meetings. There is a schedule. We're not going to meet the week of Thanksgiving or the week of Christmas and the week of New Year's. But other than that, we'll be planning on being here every Tuesday at 10 to 11 to answer your guys' questions. If you continue to have issues, please keep on bringing them up. Okay, keep on, if you can't remember how to go through and navigate through those modules, bring it up. We're working through this together, and let's just do what we can to support each other. Any other questions or any last comments, final comments? All right, you guys, I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys are gonna do. I'm looking forward to support you with those projects. Yes, Chris.
So you said we're going to be masters when we're done, right? Master volunteers.
That's right.
So are we going to get a black belt for this?
Well, I think we could probably ask somebody to beat us something that says MHVP, right?
Yeah.
I don't think I'm qualified to give anybody a black belt.
All right. I was just asking, maybe Mercedes or Yvette Wood or somebody.
There you go. Yeah, so I'm glad you guys are here. You guys are amazing leaders in your communities, and what you have the potential to do when you refine all of these different skills that you have is going to be amazing. And I look forward to support you guys, help you guys with any of these projects that you want or that you see, and let's take your visions and let's make them happen, because I know it's possible. We've got an amazing group of people and connections, not only in this group that we're in, but our community connections and also our USU connections. So let's start getting you guys doing what we know that you are more than capable of doing, which is leading out in your community and making changes. So on that note, thank you guys very much. Please feel free to contact me anytime you need to, either email or text message me or call me. And have a good week. Thank you guys.
Is your contact information in the book? Your
Oh, I guess it's not.
phone number?
Everybody should know how to get a hold of me. Richardson's Row 2. All right, if you want to, I'll type my information really quick. My cell number. And that's the best way to get a hold of me. Just drop me a text. Because if you call me and I don't know your phone number, I screen call, because I get spam calls all the time.
Oh, where'd it go?
Yep. So 801-404-2935.
404
Right there.
29.
And so make sure, let's see, I'll reach out to you guys individually, and then we'll kind of go over some of the basic, we'll go over the information sheet, just so I know I have your guys' personal contact information, work contact information, because it looks like we're having some of our emails bouncing back that were sent out. So I'll just kind of do some individual, or Sandy, if you want to just make sure that you've got all of your staff's contact emails that they're going to be using. And then I'll reach out to the other ones, just so we can kind of avoid or work out the kinks that we've got going on. But
Okay.
Yeah, feel free to message me. Feel free to message me, let me know that it's you, and then I'll call you or I'll know to pick up the phone. And you guys have a good week. Thank you. Keep on plugging away. Don't forget to answer those surveys so we get your feedback.
Okay, see you guys.
See you guys.
Have a good day.
Bye.
See ya. You guys have a good one too. Bye.
Bye.